Forest are now good enough for Douglas Luiz as he has a change of heart. Welcome to your Forest news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to what is probably the deadest transfer window I can remember in the Premier League for a long time. If you're enjoying the content, let me know by hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you're new, and you can support us on Patreon now for free or as a paid member. The paid ones get exclusive transfer news and content. Scan the QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comment. Shout out to Davey Boy, the latest person who signed up over on Patreon. So let's jump into this news. And Forest are good enough for Douglas Luiz now. Apparently reports are coming out from Brazil that Douglas Luiz would be happy to go to either Man City or Forest. Is it because both clubs have won European titles? Is it because both clubs have won the league? Is it because both clubs are pushing in the top four, maybe in a title race? I'm very skeptical. This is what I told you guys on the last Douglas Luiz update was. Firstly, I tried to be nice about him, that he didn't want to, take the first offer that was on the table, but he wanted to kind of let other bids come in and see where the cards lay. And then he came out and said, I don't want Forest, I want Man City or I want Man United. Well, that's all changed now, hasn't it, Mr. Luiz? Seeing that no one's actually come in for you and we've got, 5 days left of the transfer window? And then suddenly you've had this magical change of heart. Maybe he finally saw the Premier League table. It was like, oh, I thought this was upside down when I looked at it the other week. I've looked at it the right way. Or maybe he's just now realized that his options aren't that open. And that's exactly what I think it is. So, firstly, do I believe these reports? Yes, I do, because there's been not a lot of noise on Luiz. He got linked to Man United about a week or two ago. That felt all like paper talk again. He has been slightly linked to Man City, other clubs as well. I think that at one time Villa were linked with bringing him back. But at the moment, his options are down to Forest and maybe Man City. Now, according to this report, it says that Forest are willing to make a large investment to sign Luiz. Can't tell you about the fees or anything. It'll probably be a loan, maybe with an option or an obligation to buy. And the fact that Forest would be willing to maybe put a decent loan fee in may give Forest the advantage over the likes of Man City. And of course, we're higher up in the league. So how do I feel about this one? Do I want him? Not really. With Sangare coming back, with Danilo coming back, I don't think we're that desperate. Do I think he's a good player? Yes, but his attitude absolutely stinks. It's not so much his attitude that stinks, it's his ego. And his ego for a guy, I don't mind players with egos, I've said it plenty of times, but if you have an ego, you better damn well be performing on that pitch. And he hasn't performed at Juventus, and therefore his ego means nothing to me. So if you want the ego, let the feet do the talking as well. So I'm a no on him. But what do you guys think? I mean, if he comes, all right, let me do the classic woke stuff. Of course, I'll back him. He'll be a Forest boy, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. But if while he's not a Forest boy, do I want him? Not really. I think we can do better. What do you guys reckon? Now, before we talk about the defender that's being linked, I just want to touch on the striker situation because it is dead, man, right now. It's literally nothing happening. And we're seeing the likes of Ferguson from Brighton, who Forest were linked with, getting close to signing for West Ham, who are like almost in a relegation fight. So Forest, what are you doing, man? I know Ferguson divides opinions amongst you guys, but at least he's a warm body and he is a body that can score a goal. Okay, he hasn't scored that many for Brighton this season, but he's not getting the game time. I just think, I look at a player, I'm not too interested in the GA, man. I mean, there are absolute stat merchants out there. For me, it's about how a player fits into a system. And I think he fits perfectly into Nuno ball and Nuno's system. And I think he would be the perfect understudy for Chris Wood and look to try and push him for that first team slot. So what's clear here is that West Ham want a striker. We all know their injury crisis. And they were linked to Taiwo. It looks like they've moved on from Taiwo. West Ham fans, by the way, Taiwo, cracking striker. He scored 7 goals in a row in the Premier League, kept Forest up. He'll bag in bare goals for you, man. So, yeah, get onto your board. You do want him. But with this Evan Ferguson one, I think this is a deal that Forest shouldn't be missing out on. It's something we need to get over the line, and I just don't see that Forest are pushing on the interest. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If we don't make 1, maybe 2 signings this transfer window, I'm going to be a little disappointed in the club's ambition. We are where we are, and we need to push forward, and that needs more quality players. And this next transfer that I'm going to talk to you about ain't really it for me. So let's move on to the defender. All right, so let's move on to this real inspiring transfer link. And if you guys switch off now, I don't blame you. So Forest are being linked with a centre-back called Nasir Giga, I think. I don't know. He plays for Red Star Belgrade in Serbia. And he's an international. Yes, another African international for Burkina Faso. I couldn't point that out on a map to you if I tried. Sounds more like Mufasa from The Lion King. Anyway, the story here is that, and I don't really believe half of this one, because it's saying he's a replacement for Murillo at 9 million euros. No, I could see him coming in as a replacement for Omar Bamadeli, because if you think about it, our backup centre-backs now are Morato and Bolly. Now that Omar Bamadeli's gone out on loan, it doesn't really leave too much backup. So this story in itself is pretty crappy, in my opinion. It may be true, but I'm not inspired by it. At all. Anyway, he's 9 million. Apparently there's a couple of Premier League clubs that are interested in him as well. I don't even know what he looks like, let alone how good or crap he is. So I can't tell you much about it. Maybe you guys are huge fans of Nasir Giga. Let me know in the comments. But if this is a signing that Forest do, my God, have we had a crappy transfer window, because it's so underwhelming. Like, all the other transfer windows have been exciting. There's been some great names coming in and everything. But this isn't just a Forest problem, let me add. This is a transfer window problem. This is a PSR problem. A lot of Premier Leagues are struggling to keep their books balanced. And what you're going to see, as I mentioned, I think in yesterday or day before's video, is this domino effect starting soon. They're running out of time though. And I think we're going to have a bit of a crazy transfer deadline day. And we, as always, we'll be doing that stream on here. So can I give you any exciting news? No. Don't shoot the messenger would be my message to you. I mean, if you want to, say it in the comments, put in shoot the messenger. But it's a case of we're going to have to wait this out and see. All the other links we've had, the Yilmazes and stuff like that, who I think Forest should be pushing for right now, they're all as you were. No updates, no changes, no reports to say that it's off or that Forest are going to chase up on them. I got nothing for you guys. I ain't going to lie to you. That's what I've got. Should I make up a rumor? Forest getting linked to Mbappe? No, let's not do that. Anyway, so that's your transfer news, guys. I'm sorry, but that's it. What can I say? If you've enjoyed it, let me know. Hit that like button. Make sure you've subscribed as well if you're new here. If you want to support us on Patreon, there's the QR code for you guys to scan. I'll be on Loaded Mag tonight at 6:30, taking more licks about the whole 5-0 to Boring Mouth. So come join us then. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.